there, fantasy owners. Welcome to Lift the Cup Fantasy here. And we're in the final stretch of championship week. Here's our part 2 of week 26 strategy, where we're going to focus on the final 5 nights of the week and hopefully push you for that title. Some things to note: there is only 1 game on Monday, 13 games on Tuesday, 5 games on Friday, 9 on Thursday, and then 15 games on Friday. Also, 22 teams do play 3 games in these final 5 nights. So we will focus on Monday and Wednesday, as those are the lightest nights and where you probably have the most room on your roster. Do note that Chicago and Philly are the only teams that play on Monday. They also play on Wednesday, but I will separate it out. And after we look at all the Monday and Wednesday teams, we will take a look at all the remaining teams that do have 3 games in those final 5 nights, so that if you do need to add a piece, you're maximizing your value on your player ads. Don't forget to check out the description, because there I will mention where to find defensemen and forwards that play on Monday/Wednesday, them being Chicago and Philly, Wednesday defensemen and forwards, and then the remaining 3-game teams defensemen and forwards. Don't forget to subscribe. That way, if you need to come back to the video based on roster needs, injuries, etc., as you're making that final push, it'll be a lot easier to find that video. So we will jump right into it. Some Monday defensemen for you. Look at Jake McCabe from Chicago. Only owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on that second pairing, and he has 3 points in his last 4 games to go along with 9 hits. Another one is Travis Sanheim from Philly. Owned in 6% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the top pairing and top power play unit right now, and he's put up 5 points in his last 8 games, so over half point per game, and he's also has 20 blocks in there. Last one is Ivan Provorov from Philly. He's owned in 59% of Yahoo leagues. Plays top pairing, second power play unit, and he has 3 points in his last 3 games. And then in those 3 games, he's had 12 shots on goal, which is a lot, and also 12 blocks, which is a bundle there. Moving on to some Monday/Wednesday forwards. Look at Dylan Strome from Chicago, listed as center right winger, owned in 26% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit, and he's put up 4 points in his last 5 games. Another one's been a little bit of a forgotten man, and Dominic Kubalik, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 24% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second line and second power play unit, and he's put up 4 points in his last 5 games. Over to Philly, look at Kevin Hayes, listed as a center, owned in 9% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit. He's been really good of late. He's put up 8 points in his last 11 games, go along with 40 shots on goal, so putting a lot of pucks on net if that's considered in your league. Next one is Travis Konechny, listed as a right winger, owned in 23% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top line and top power play unit. He's currently on a 5-game point streak where he has 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points. He's also thrown 13 shots on goal in those 4 games. Go along to the remaining Wednesday D-men. Do note, LA, Winnipeg, and Montreal only play twice this week. The rest of these teams do have 3 games, and we'll start off with those teams. LA, look at Sean Durzi, owned in 16% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, top power play unit, gets a ton of minutes there with Doughty out. He has 4 points in his last 9 games, so basically half point per game, but in there he also has 22 shots on goal and 21 blocks. Over to Montreal, look at Jeff Petrie. He's owned in 44% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top pairing and second power play unit, and in the 7 games since coming back from injury, he's put up 5 points. Going to Winnipeg now, look at Josh Morrissey, owned in 62% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, top power play unit, and he has 3 points in his last 7 games, so right around half point per game, and he's really been the steadiest defenseman on Winnipeg's back end all year. Over to Arizona, look at Shane Gostisbehere, owned in 40% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, top power play unit, and yeah, he has 3 points in his last 9 games played, so just under half point per game. You'd like to be at higher, but he's really had a consistent fantasy season all year, so he might be worth streaming definitely on a light night. Next one is Vince Dunn from Seattle, owned in 27% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, top power play unit, and he's put up 5 points in his last 4 games played. Last one is Ryan Suter from Dallas, owned in 20% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, second power play unit, and yeah, he only has 1 point in the last 6 games played, but he did put up 4 points in the previous 3 games, and outside of Heiskanen and Klingberg, who is higher ownership, he really is a good option for you. Going along to some Wednesday forwards for you, do note again that LA, Montreal, and Winnipeg only play twice in the final 5 days, where the rest of the players do play 3 times. So we'll start off with LA. Look at Adrian Kempe, left winger, right winger, owned in 51% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit, and he has 10 points in his last 10 games played. He's fired 43 shots on net, so definitely anytime it touches the stick, it's going on net. Next one is Philip Daniel, listed as a center, owned in 25% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing and top power play unit. He's currently on a 7-game point streak where he has 5 goals and 3 assists for 8 points. Last one from LA is Victor Arvidsson, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 34% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing and second power play unit, and he's put up 6 assists in just the last 5 games. Over to Montreal, there really is only one option up front, that being Cole Caulfield, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 53% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit, and he's cooled off of late, but has had one hell of a second half of the season. He's only had 1 point in his last 6 games, which was just the other night he played, but before that he put up 4 goals and 1 assist over the previous 6 games. So knowing that he scored last game, hopefully it's a sign that he's going to go on another hot streak for you. Over to Winnipeg, look at Paul Stastny, listed as center left winger, owned in 19% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, second power play unit. He's been hot, 7 points last 7 games, and in that time, 21 shots on goal. Go over to Arizona now, look at Nick Schmaltz, listed as center right winger, owned in 25% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit, and he's put up 9 points in his last 11 games played. Over in Dallas, look at Jamie Benn, listed as center left winger, owned in 62% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line, second power play unit. He's cooled off a bit, 1 point last 6 games, but before that he put up 6 points the last 5 games played, and with Dallas fighting for their playoff lives, I don't see why he wouldn't push there. Over in Vegas, look at Chandler Stevenson, listed as center, left wing, and right wing, owned in 48% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line and second power play unit, and he's put up 13 points over the last 12 games. And Vegas is fighting for their playoff lives too, so they should be pushing. A couple of other options that you could consider is William Karlsson or Evgeny Dadonov. They're just a little more streakier than Stevenson. Over in Seattle, look at Jared McCann, listed as center left winger, owned in 18% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line and top power play unit, and he's put up 5 points in his last 5 games played. Over to the Rangers now, look at Andrew Kopp, listed as center left wing and right wing, owned in 53% of Yahoo leagues. He is currently, I just seen on there, he's listed day to day with a lower body injury. I haven't really been able to find out if it's long term or not, so do watch, but he did have a hat trick before he left the game there. He's second line, second power play unit, and he's put up 11 points in his last 9 games played. Another one from the Rangers is Frank Vetrano, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 14% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that top line with Kreider and Zibanejad, and plays on the second power play unit, and he's put up 4 points his last 7 games played, so you'd like it to be a little bit higher, but playing with Kreider and Zibanejad, the piggyback points are going to come. And in those 7 games, he's still adding some value. He's had 19 shots on goal. Last one from the Rangers is Ryan Strome, listed as center right winger, owned in 54% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line, top power play unit, and he's put up 7 points in 8 games since coming back from injury. So now we'll look at the remaining defensemen that have 3 games in the final 5 nights. And look at Noah Hannafin from Calgary. He's owned in 54% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, second power play unit. He's been on a heck of a run there. 11 points in his last 8 games played. Over in Colorado, look at Bowen Byram. Owned in 24% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, second power play unit, and he's put up 4 points his last 7 games, so over half point per game. And as they're easing him back from his concussion, his ice time steadily increasing, and production should follow. Over in Edmonton, look at Evan Bouchard. Owned in 41% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, second power play unit, and he's put up 5 points his last 6 games. Do note, it's risk-reward, because of those 5 points, one was a 2-point game and one was a 3-point game, and then 4 bagels in there. Over in Florida, look at Gustav Forsling. Owned in 47% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second pairing, and he's put up 11 points in his last 11 games played, and he's been putting a ton of pucks on net, 38 shots on goal in those 11 games. Another one from Florida is Brandon Montour. Owned in 18% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, second power play unit, and he's put up 7 points his last 7 games played. Over in Nashville, look at Matthias Ekholm. Owned in 42% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, second power play unit, and he has 3 points in his last 5 games played. Over in New Jersey, look at Damon Severson. Owned in 31% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing and second power play unit, and he's put up 4 points in his last 7 games. Over in Ottawa, look at Eric Brandstrom. Really, with Chabot out, he's the only option over there. He's only owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, top power play unit, and he's put up 5 points in his last 9 games, so over half point per game there. Over in Tampa, look at Eric Chernak. Owned in 7% of Yahoo leagues, not known for his point production, but has been lately. Plays second pairing. He has assists in 4 straight games, so that adds some value. And if you're in a banger league, he's had 19 hits in those 4 games and 10 blocks. Over in Vancouver, look at Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Owned in 45% of Yahoo leagues, plays top pairing, second power play unit, and he's put up 8 points in his last 10 games. Another one from Vancouver is Brad Hunt. Not owned anywhere, 0% owned. Plays third pairing, second power play unit, and he's put up 3 points his last 4 games. And the last one's from Washington. Look at Justin Schultz. He's owned in 9% of Yahoo leagues, plays second pairing, second power play unit, and he has 5 points in his last 5 games played. Another one to consider from Washington's Dmitry Orlov. He's same second pairing, second power play unit. Just Schultz has been a little hotter of late. So now we'll look at some forwards that have 3 games in the final 5 nights of the season. And in Boston, look at Jake DeBrusk, listed as left winger, right winger. Owned in 22% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line and top power play unit with Pasternak out. He'll drop down to second power play if Pasternak comes back. And he has 2 points the last 6 games, but before that he put up 10 points over a 7-game stretch. Another one from Boston's Eric Holla, listed as center left winger, owned in 17% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line and second power play unit, and he's put up 8 points in his last 11 games. Over in Calgary, look at Andrew Mangiapane. Listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 58% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line, top power play unit. He's been hot, he's been heating up, 10 points his last 9 games played. Another one from Calgary is Dylan Dubé, listed as center, left winger, and right winger, owned in only 1% of Yahoo leagues, on the third line and second power play unit, and he's put up 6 points his last 7 games. Over in Colorado, look at Valery Nichushkin, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 47% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that top line right now and top power play unit. He's currently on a 6-game point streak where he has 3 goals and 5 assists for 8 points. Another one from Colorado's Arturi Lehkonen, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues. He's up on that top line in Colorado too, and top power play unit, and he's put up 6 points his last 5 games to go along with 16 shots on goal. Go over to the Blue Jackets for some players. Look at Jack Roslovich, listed as center right winger, only owned in 13% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the second line and second power play unit, and he's put up 9 points his last 6 games. Another one is Gustav Nyquist, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 10% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the top line, top power play unit, and he's been hot. 7 points in his last 7 games played. Last one's Jakub Voracek, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 44% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line and top power play unit, and he has 5 points in his last 5 games played. Over in Edmonton, look at Zach Hyman, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 61% of Yahoo leagues, plays on that second line with Draisaitl, also plays on that top power play unit in Edmonton, which is deadly right now, and he has 9 points in his last 12 games played. Over in Minnesota, there's a couple for you. Matt Boldy, listed as left winger, right winger, up to 24% owned. Plays on the second line, second power play unit, and he's been really hot. 11 points in his last 8 games played. Another one is one of his line mates, Frederick Gaudreau, listed as a center, only owned in 7% of Yahoo leagues. Plays second line, second power play unit. He's put up 10 points in his last 6 games played. Pile of points there for him. Over in Nashville, look at Ryan Johansson, listed as a center, owned in 42% of Yahoo leagues. Plays second line, top power play unit, and he has 10 points in his last 10 games played. Over in Jersey, look at Nico Hischier, listed as a center, owned in 35% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit. Yes, he's pointless the last 3 games, not very long stretch, but before that he put up 11 points in 8 games played. Another one from New Jersey is Jesper Bratt, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 57% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line, top power play unit. Yes, he's been pointless only the last 2 games, but before that he put up 5 points in a 5-game stretch, and he's been right around that point per game all season long. Over the Islanders, look at Brock Nelson, listed as a center, owned in 47% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit, and he has 9 points in his last 9 games played. Over in Ottawa, look at Josh Norris, listed as a center, owned in 62% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line, top power play unit, and he has 13 points in his last 12 games played. Another one from Ottawa is Tim Stützle, listed as center left winger, owned in 55% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line, top power play unit. He's been hot. 14 points in his last 10 games played. Go over to Tampa, look at Andre Palat, listed as a left winger, owned in 61% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line, second power play unit, and he's put up 7 points in his last 6 games played. Couple others from Tampa to consider is Alex Killorn or Ross Colton. Just Palat's the one on the hot streak right now. Over in Vancouver, look at Connor Garland, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 31% of Yahoo leagues, plays top line and second power play unit, and he's put up 10 points in his last 8 games played. Another one from Vancouver is Vasily Podkolzin. Hope I pronounced it right. Left winger, right winger, only owned in 5% of Yahoo leagues. Plays on the top line and top power play unit right now, and he's put up 8 points in his last 7 games played. Last one's Anthony Mantha from Washington, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 28% of Yahoo leagues, plays on the third line and second power play unit, and he's put up 7 points in his last 6 games played. Really do hope you do enjoy the episode. After the season's done, we'll be doing a fantasy team review on all 32 teams, 4 of them coming out every week. And if you did like this episode, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and remember that notification bell. And good luck to all you fantasy owners out there.